Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Panyaha Kodam, which means face the east. I want to say Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Brakti Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Waha, Waka, Kodash. Alright, double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone from where I learned this truth from. And once again, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Barakatah to all the brothers out there. Alright, so today for camp, we're going to have a bunch of different topics that we're going to get into. The thing I want to get into is how your actions, your thoughts become your actions, man. Basically, a wicked mind makes a wicked person, man. Alright, so these people out here, man, their minds are wired to love this world, man. They're fucking wicked. They're absorbed in all kinds of folly, all kinds of banditoisms, alright, man on man action, another way of saying it, all kinds of sexual immorality. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. It's the book of Proverbs. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 19. As in water, face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. Alright, so as in water, when you look down at water, water is a reflective surface, is it not? When you look down at water, do you not see yourself? So is the heart of man to man. Alright, so is the mind of man to man. Alright, so the mind of a man, it reflects the heart of a man, lab, right? Reflects a man. Alright, so you have a man who's doing wickedly, or a man that's not brotherly, a man that's, he hates his brothers, or he's on some wicked shit. He's like that because his mind is like that. Alright, so that's the same kind of principle. The mind of a man reflects inside the person. Alright? That's pretty much it on that. You know? There's actually a few more that I would like to get into on that. Let's go ahead and before I do that, let's take a little bit deeper into that word. Let's see if we can extract a bit more understanding. And then we're going to read to the 20th verse, and I might bounce back to the 18th verse. They're kind of, worded differently, but they mean the same thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and just jump right in, man. I got to get warmed up out here. Let's see here. Answereth. Alright. The water face to face. Alright, well that's not really there, but it means the same thing, man. Like it reflects who you are. Alright, so let's go actually jump back. Proverbs is a really good scripture, really good book to get into for new brothers. My son, Proverbs 3 verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Exactly. Alright? So let thine heart keep my commandments, man. Alright? You gotta do these things to the best of your ability, which this book, Proverbs, was for the most part written by King Solomon. And I actually read an article on his website. It said that was directed to his sons. But really what it's directed to is all the elect, man, who are going to be able to read and be able to understand these scriptures. Alright? So we're gonna actually jump into that, because as you just mentioned it, we're gonna come back here later, or we might not, A lesson is a lesson, so if it doesn't, if it kind of goes all over the place, it is what it is. There we go. 29. Alright, so this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Who is the he here? The Lord. Alright? Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Alright, so them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Alright, who was dreamed from the milk? It's like babes, man. So when you come into this truth, you're like a baby, like a young child. Alright, you have to drawn from the breast, you have to be weaned. You come in, you get the milk, which is the kind of simpler scriptures, right? Because when you have a baby, you don't give a baby meat right away. So meat is the hardest scriptures. You don't give a baby meat right away, because the baby will choke. And the same thing is with us brothers, man. It's us young brothers in the truth. You gotta give a young brother the milk first. Basic scriptures, scholar scriptures. You don't gotta explain every little detail. It's good if you can explain the context for a proselyte to be able to understand. All right, or newcomer, right? That's another way of saying newcomer, right? But you don't want to get too deep, man. You just want to just give them the basics. We'll stay here for now. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. All right. So when you go into that word precept, let's actually go ahead and get it. Let's see how good I am with the Hebrew today. Let's take a look here. I think that's supposed to be it. Let's see if we can go ahead and click it. No. Let's just do this one instead. We'll just go click it regularly. Alright, and I believe that is tazawa. Tazawa is the word for precept. So let's go check the King James, and we'll do what is cross-reference using the King James, and we'll look at it again. Let me sign in first, so that'll be less work on my part. So let me give it a these articles. All right, let's go here. Sign into my account. Let's go straight into it. Alright, and there we go. I thought I had a breakdown here, I guess not. You go to that word precept, it's tazawa. Alright, it's tazawa. And you go back into the root word etymology, and that goes into, I think that's also tazawa. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, it's also tazawa, but there's an H at the end of this one. It all goes back to give a command, give order, give charge to it. Because when you read these scriptures, man, you're not supposed to just read them. You're supposed to actually apply them to yourself, man. To the best of your ability. Of course, we're not perfect on this side, because we've been given them these chains of darkness, these fleshly bodies. We can't keep the law perfectly. That's why we're waiting for the new covenant. But we're supposed to try the best that we can, right? We're supposed to try the best that we can and continue to push. So yeah, and we can see here to whom shall I understand doctrine. Let's go ahead and get study to show thyself approved. All right. Show. Let's just say study. As soon as I look up study, it should bring me exactly to what I want. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Alright, this is what we do, man. We study to show ourselves not to be approved unto men, but to be approved unto the Most High. So we go into these scriptures, we go into these precepts. As we just read, precept upon precept, line upon line. That's how you understand the scriptures. Alright, now we can go into Genesis, the first chapter. This is an example. Genesis, the first chapter, and then that precepts to John 1 and 1. And I think that goes back to Hebrews. I think it's Hebrews 1 and 1, if I'm correct. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at it. A quick look at it. Because this one's not too hard to understand. Yeah, it's Hebrews 1 and 1. You can go down to verse 2. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. The Most High, who at sundry time and in diverse matters spoke in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. Alright? So you see here, long ago, the Most High spoke many times in many ways to our ancestors, to the prophets, exactly. So you see, the prophets are the mouthpiece of the Most High. Let's go ahead and prove that. Let's go ahead and prove that. And then we'll go to Daniel's, so that's another way you can prove it. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Exactly. So that's how we know we're those men. The Lord willing above that number, man. The Lord is dealing with us, man. He's giving us a spirit to be able to understand these precepts. That's why, you got brothers like me, up here by myself, and even though I'm by myself, I still come out here and I still, push the gospel, man. I still do this truth, perform this truth, and keep the commandments to the best of my ability. Let's go ahead and get that one. Let's go ahead, Daniels. Let's hit Daniels. We might actually explain Daniels too. Actually, I might just go to the point. We'll just go to the point first. Let's see here. Daniels 2. Small be left. Blah 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 blah. Alright, how about this? We'll go back to 26 and we'll read on down. This book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 26. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen in the interpretation thereof? Alright, because the king Nebuchadnezzar was speaking unto Daniel to learn about this dream, And Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers shew unto the king? Alright, so carnal knowledge isn't going to be able to give you the kind of divine knowledge, man. These carnal people, these witches and warlocks, witches, warlocks, soothsayers, so on and so forth, astrologers, they're around here to this day. And they just got different names. They call them weathermen or geologists or scientists. But it's the same witchcraft recycled over and over and over again. Pharmacists. Pharmacology is just another form of witchcraft. Believe it or not. Alright, the elites of the society, they all use witchcraft. Alright, we'll actually go ahead and get some understanding on that one, because that one's easy to prove. See here, high places. We'll just prove that real quick, because you gotta peek around the corners, man, because people be out here be crazy. This is the book of I'll start at verse 10. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Exactly. So it's not our might, right? It's the might of the Lord, man. It's the Lord that reveals the secrets, man. That gives us the ability to come out here, give us the spirit and the ability to understand these scriptures, and give us the spirit to come out here in great boldness against such as have afflicted us. Mainly you Edomites, man. Are you so-called white men? We stand out here against you, man. We out here on the highways and byways. You really think about it, man. I'm vulnerable to the max out here, man. Lord willing, I'll be protected, but I'm vulnerable to the max. I'm by myself. People could come up here, they can bother me, but they ain't gonna stop what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and get it. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right, and this is why we call Esau devil, man. Devil means deceiver. All right. He does cunning arts and trickery. All through the spiritual demon Satan. And demons on the left hand. This also applies to literal demons who affect the brethren through wicked thoughts to try and make us go off. Exactly. And I wrote this breakdown myself, man. All right, so it all plays into the same thing, man. Spiritual demon Satan try to make us go off, try to put wicked thoughts in our minds. So we have to put on the whole armor of the Most High, man. We have to get this understanding, and fight against that. So on and so forth. And I'm still growing, man. I'm still growing. I still don't have a lot of experience on how to deal with demons. Of course, I can deal with demons on the highways and byways, but of course, everything else, I gotta grow, man. I gotta grow. I gotta learn. And I gotta experience, man. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Exactly. And I have the breakdown here. We fight witchcraft/tactics from the elite in various parts of our life: music, propaganda, white supremacy, misinformation, slander, psyops, etc. Exactly. This is what we're up against, man. And once again, it's the same witchcraft recycled in this society, man. All the elites, all the people that are a part of the illuminated ones, they all perform witchcraft, man. All that shit is demonic, man. But you know what? The right hand is stronger, man. And I heard the brother, I'm one to buy in one of his videos, he was talking about that. He was, once on the side of the left hand, but he turned to the right hand through the Lord. It's a powerful brother, man. You know? He was talking about, he said that he was engaged in dealing with the left hand at one point, and that he found that the right hand is much stronger. And that goes back to Moses too. Moses and those wizards in Egypt. The right hand was shown to be stronger than that, man. And as we're seeing here, when we're reading Daniel's, you got this left hand soothsayers, left hand, wizards and warlocks and people that do things on the left hand. They weren't able to answer Nebuchadnezzar's dream. They weren't able to figure it out. Right, but Daniel was to the right hand. And he's actually going to explain it. We're going to explain it too, because it's not too hard to get into. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 28. Verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. Verse 28. But there's a most high power in heaven that revealeth secret and make it known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in thy latter days. Thy dream and the vision of thy head upon thy bed are these. Exactly. So it's the Lord, the Spirit, man, revealed that to Daniel, man. And now us in this truth today, many thousands and thousands of years later, now we're able to understand it. And now we're able to go into these things because this chapter is paramount. Daniel's 2 and Daniel 7 is paramount to proving who Esau is, man. Because it teaches you history. It tells you about these nations, man. Verse 29. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed. What shall come to pass hereafter? He revealeth secrets, make down. Okay, and he that revealeth secrets, right? Make it known to thee what shall come to pass. The Most High reveals secrets. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than anything. But for their sakes, I shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Exactly. What Daniel is saying, Daniel was very humble, man. It's not because I'm wiser than any person. It's through the Lord, man. It's through the Lord. All right? You got to have that faith, in the Lord, man. Not faith in yourself or faith in any carnal weapon, man. Let's go ahead and get that, man. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 4. Thou art my king, O power, command deliverances for Jacob. And that actually makes me think of, right, that goes into our word, the sons of God, man. Alright? Now when you go into Yashar Allah, Yashar Allah means he is the princely son of the power. Alright, so the sons of God are the Israelites, man. Alright, or Yashar Allah. Alright? These are the people that you see on these signs right here. 12 tribes. With myself coming out of the tribe of Judah, which means Yahweh, which means Yahweh thinks. Alright? When you go into Judah, in Genesis the 49th chapter, when it says our hand shall be in the next of our enemies, that actually proves that Judah would be here in North America, man. And who was our main enemy, man? Our main enemy is Esau, man. But at the end of the day, when we get spiritual powers over them all that number, our hands are going to be in the next of our enemies, man. We're going to have that power, man. Just like, back then, during the time of King David and King Solomon, man, we had Esau under us, man. All right? You go into the time of the Dark Ages, Constantine, so on and so forth, right? Actually, let's go ahead and get that real quick. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. The time of the Dark Ages, right? This is the Habsburg shield. So this is like a variation of this is actually a symbol for the Holy Roman Empire. So this is I believe this one is in. Yeah, here we go. Statue of a black and more holding the coat of arms, the Habsburg coat of arms. All right. As you can see, these are all dark-skinned people, man. Dark-skinned rulers that were ruling across Europe. You know, you got King James right down here. All right. But this time, we're not going to have a rulership that's going to end. We're going to have a rulership that's going to last forever. All right. And we're actually going to go ahead and get that. That's that stone that we're about to read about, man. All right. But this is going to come to pass very shortly on the planet Earth, believe it or not. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Verse 5, through thee will we push down our enemies, to thy name we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. All right, so that means we're not supposed to trust in carnal weapons, man. We're not supposed to trust in a knife or a gun. You know, does that mean someone come out here and they're just looking for a fight? You know, that I'm not gonna, take their ass down? No. If someone's looking for a fight, man, I put the truth. I put pushing out this truth. More importantly, man. So if someone comes out here and tries to use physical means to stop what I'm doing, then I'm gonna, beat their ass. That's just the way it's gonna have to be. And of course, I don't look like that. I don't look for that. I'm not that kind of guy who's just looking to kick the shit out of people. All right, but I just want to come out here and push the word, man. But if people come up, they, coming up with their bullshit, first and foremost, tell them get lost, man, because I don't want to talk to you, man. You know what I want to do? I just want to bring out the truth, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm going home, man. Well, actually, yeah, in that order. In that order. I might get something to eat inside the crib. But I'm not here to argue with people, man. I'm not here to talk to people, man. It all goes back to slavery, man. How the curses, man. I think these people don't take it seriously, man. I mentioned it enough, so we're just gonna go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get it. There we go. Wisdom of Solomon. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. All right, who's the righteous man who stands in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, man? That's us, man. That's us coming out here on the highways and byways, man. Coming out here week in, week out, and preaching the word, man, bringing out the truth. Standing out here carrying a sign. We're vulnerable out here, man. This is an act of boldness, man. I got people laughing at me. And that goes right here, man. Made no such account of his labors. All right, so they make no account of our labors on a spiritual aspect. All right, when people see me out here, they don't say, "Oh, this guy out here, he's doing a great thing." They say, "Oh, look at this nigger. Oh, this nigger out here. Tell this nigger to go home, man. Why is this nigger out here? Yeah, I hate this nigger. He's always out there with that damn sign. I'm gonna kill that nigger when I get a chance." So that's the mind of these people, man. They really want my head, man. And Lord willing, they don't get it, man. But if I have to be martyred, and be taken to a concentration camp and executed, so be it. Because you ain't really living in society, man. Let's go ahead and get Micah, man. Let's get Micah. You ain't really living in society, man. The society is wicked. The food is wicked. The woman is wicked. Everything is wicked, man. You can't even enjoy your own children. Even people that got it good, they complain against it. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore pollution. Sore destruction. Like that. That's locking. So arise ye and depart. Alright, so we don't depart physically as in get a boat and a plane and leave America. Alright, but leave America's ways. Why? Because America's polluted. How is America polluted? America's polluted by its actions. All right, America has, you change your gender. You got banditoism, all kinds of left hand, disgusting shit. Woman with woman, man on man. Which when you go into that one Romans, man, Let's go ahead and get it. It's really the Lord who made you jakes like that, man. That made you jakes to engage in that kind of filth, man. You know? This is the book of Romans, chapter 1. We'll start at we'll start at verse 25. Who changed the truth of the Most High, ungodly, right? Wicked Israelites, right? Changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator who is blessed forever. Amen. And for this cause, the Most High gave them up into vile affections, for even their woman did change their natural use into that which is against nature. All right, in America is the medium by which that is able to flourish and go on. When you go into American legislation, when you go into the New York penal law, there is no penal code or no code of law against woman-on-woman action, man. There is no code of law for man-on-man action. All right. I actually even go to different countries. I believe in the Philippines, which the Philippines was named after King Philip of Spain, because the Spanish, they conquered that region. Even when you go into the Philippines, I believe, have a law against that. You cannot engage in that kind of behavior. I'm talking about sodomy inside the Philippines. It is illegal. But down here in America, it's clearly legal, and it's pushed out, and it's advocated for. All right? Let's keep pushing, man. Let's keep pushing. Verse 27, likewise also the men, leaving the last use of the woman, burn in their lust towards one another, one toward another, men with men working that which is sin, receiving themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat. Exactly. In other words, receiving the punishment that they deserve. When you engage in that kind of behavior, it makes you very sick, man. You engage in sodomy. Sodomy, it destroys your body, man. You know, it won't only wreck your booty, but it'll also wreck you, you know, and give you all kinds of health issues, man. Because that's not the way the Most High envisioned reproduction, man. Reproduction is between a man and a woman, man. Not between three dudes, not between two dudes, not between two women, not between three women, not between two dudes and one woman. All that shit's off, man. One man and one woman supposed to lay down and produce seed, man. You know, so on and so forth. The man ejaculates to the woman, and the woman carry the seed, or the man plant the seed, the woman grow the fruit, and the fruit is the child, man. So on and so forth, man. You know, if you're catching my drift, because you know, I don't want to be obscene. All right, let's go ahead and get it, man. So yeah, let's go back to Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. This is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you. You're going to soul destruction. And your destruction is going to come by way of you engaging inside this polluted place, man. By way of you engaging in this place, you're gonna meet your end. You know, point blank, period. You know, and if you don't want to hear it, you know, that's cool. You can just keep on moving, bro. You know, because I ain't out here to please men, man. I ain't say, oh, you're an angry nigga. Yeah, I am an angry nigga. I'm a big angry nigga. Alright? This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 5. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, no unclean person, no covetous person, no idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Yahushua Mashiach and of the Most High. Alright, so people will have these mental traits. As I said, all these wicked actions begin in your mind. Alright, when a person, when you hear about people committing crimes, right? You got something called, premeditated murder. Right? When someone thinks about a crime and then organizes it and goes out and does it, right? But then you go, you know, even with normal murder, you think about it, even if it's for a split second, you think about it before you do it, right? Like say if, let's see if I name a good example. Let's say, as I always say, you say you're picking something up. You think about it first. Right? When these people are out here committing adultery in this society, they think about it first. Right? So that means something's not right in their head, and that thought becomes their action. All right? People who think like that are not going to make it into the kingdom, man. They're going to die on this side, man. And I'm talking about Israelites. Israelites are going to die on this side. You just come back in the kingdom, man. And you come back being righteous. As for everyone else, you're going to die on this side, and you'll just come back as a slave. You know? And that's it. And that's just going to be your lot. You're just going to be on the slavery and service. And if you're an Edomite, after 1,000 years, you're going to be totally exterminated from off the earth. Point blank, period. It's pertaining to Obadiah 1 and 18. Alright? If people can say, oh, I don't believe in that, I don't think that's true, I don't believe that, you're mean. Yeah, I am mean. I'm a mean ass nigga. Alright? I'm a mean nigga. I'm not a nice nigga. Alright? Niggas like me, we ain't out here to please men. Alright? Try to give you belly rubs, man. I'm just out here to bring out the truth, and then I leave, man. I don't have that spirit of I'm gonna go hang out when I'm done, man. As soon as I'm done, I'm out, man. You know, I don't linger. I just leave, man. Alright, because when you come out here, man, the demons, these spirits are roused up, man. So you really shouldn't spend too much time, you know, when you finish camping, hanging around, man. You should really just leave immediately. And that's what I do, man. That's why I call it escape. You know, so I say, all right, I'm going to wrap up and I'm going to go escape, man. I'm going to go flee. I'm going to go get out of here, man. You know? Verse 6, let no man deceive you with vain words. For because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. All right, so let nobody deceive you with vain words. What are vain words? Words that are worthless. You know, you got people that come up, man, and they try to say, oh, that ain't going to happen, man. America ain't going to fall. And they try to say, World War III, man, that ain't happening. Martial law, nigga, you crazy, man. Nigga, you crazy, man. You know, which that's all right. You can say I'm crazy. You know, you can say I'm just a crazy nigga. That's cool. That's cool. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm not offended at what you people say, man. All right, at the end of the day, I'm not offended at what you people say because there's a reward waiting for me at the end, man. So I could care less what people got to say, man. That's actually got me thinking of two things, man. We're gonna go ahead and go into it, man. I'm gonna drop my pad for a second. Put this one down. I was thinking of alright. We'll get that one because I can't think of it. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. Alright. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things for the Most High have prepared for them that love him. Exactly. So we know going through scriptures is going to be an everlasting kingdom, right? And we know that us in this truth, man, we're going to be co-heirs with Yahweh Shai, man. You know, we're going to be co-heirs. Yahweh Shai is going to get the rulership. And because, you know, we stood out here on the highways and byways, man, you know, preaching this truth week in and week out, you know, which certain things haven't played out yet. Of course, we get tribulation on this side. People make their jokes, people laugh, but martial law, you know, torture, death is on the way for some of us, man. Which we're not saying that to be funny or to make a joke. We're saying that with 100%, with 1,000% solemnness and seriousness, man. This is just something that's gonna come to pass, all right? But Lord willing, we have the spirit to endure for that. But there's some, right? There's gonna be some men, right, who are not gonna die, man. Which that's a beautiful thing. That means men who are born, they're just gonna keep living and living and living, and they're gonna see the kingdom, man, without dying, all right? And these men are from the 12 tribes on this sign right here, man. Israelites. Right? And also, Israelites that may look like different nations, but the seed line go back to them being Israelites, man. They're not brothers that are like that. They're not gonna have to die on this side, man. You know, they're just gonna keep living and living and living, man. And that's a beautiful thing, man. Because you think about it, man. Like, you know, as I brought out, you know, us being out here, man. You know, I'm vulnerable to the max. You know. I don't have no weapons. I don't got a baseball bat in the corner. I don't got a switchblade, you know, ready to carve a nigga up. I don't got any of that shit, you know? Which, I mean, you're really not supposed to, bro. you know, you're really not supposed to deal with that shit, man. You know, putting hands on somebody because they deserve it is one thing, all right, in self-defense, right? Of course, self-defense. But it's another thing. You don't need to have those weapons, man. We don't. You know what I'm saying? You really shouldn't engage and have that shit with you, man. Having a AK, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You guys know. You shouldn't be having that shit. You gotta have faith. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to get into, man. So I just have not seen it, man. So, hey, the kingdom, what the joy that we're gonna feel in the kingdom, man, is something that you can't put into words, man. Lord willing, I'm of that number, man. I'm of the 144,000, man. The governing body, and I get to experience, be of those men, be of the elect, so on and so forth. We're gonna go ahead and get into Revelation, the 7th chapter, because I found a pretty good one down here. This is the book of Revelation, the 7th, verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. The Lamb being Yahushua, right? Who the world enemy calls Jesus. Alright? Verse 15, Therefore are they before the throne of the Most High, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. So I want to actually go into here. These are they which come out of great tribulation. Alright? Now what is that tribulation? Let's go ahead and get Jeremiah 30. And I want to set the water to the brother out there, GMS FAQ, because I saw this on the King James, the website. It's the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Actually, we'll start at verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with hands in his loins, and as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. All right, why do I see a man with travail with child? Doesn't mean a man literally, of course, a man can't give birth, but it means he sees men, doubled up in pain, man. Why do I see men in pain? Every man with hands in his loins, like a woman who's doubled up in pain. Same thing. It's a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Now, when you see paleness, first and foremost, when people see the word paleness, they instantly think of a white man, of a so-called white man. All right, when you see the word paleness here, which really, a so-called white man ain't pale. A white man is red. You know why he's red? Because you can see his blood through his skin. That's why when white men burn in the sun, right? Because that so-called white skin burns real easy. All right, it burns real easy because they come from a lineage of a man called Esau in the scriptures. And the word Esau means wasted away is he. So that's why he's red. He has a lack of pigmentation. Alright? That's why he's fucking red. Like the fucking devil, man. All these fucking devils, man. All this. They're always on this passive aggressive thing, man. I'd rather them just say, hey, get the fuck out of here, man. So then I could go scream back at them and say, hey, leave me alone. I'm just doing my work. So on and so forth. Now, when you see that word paleness, that looks like Yara, Wan. That's actually going the King James, because what I like about the King James, that the King James actually translates the Assyrian into the Paleo. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in the King James. Let's go take a look. This is called studying. It's called reading. Alright, and this is something that you niggas out there, you don't do, man. You black ass bastards, man. Fucking black bastards. You guys don't do this. You guys don't study, man. All you guys do is talk shit on comment boards, man. You guys call us wicked. You make these dumbass videos and shit, making photos that all the apostles in jail. And call us prison booty bandits, man. Yeah, you an idiot, man. If you saying that, you're kind of dumb, bro. We don't want to call people names. We won't call people names because, people in this society, they're very effeminized and they're easily offended. All right, so you're you're not up to par. I'll say it like that. You're not up to par when it comes to this thing, man. We'll just say it like that before one of you guys, get butt hurt, man, and then it becomes another issue. I don't want to give myself two headaches. I already got a big ass headache already. All right. Let's go ahead and look at paleness. Yara Korwan. All right. Rust. Okay, but that's not really what it is. Rust, paleness. Paleness, whether a person's from flight. Exactly. So when they say, oh, you look very pale, man, it's not mean like you're pale as in terms of fucking skin color. It just means pale in terms of, scared. Not pale on fucking skin color. Alright? Because you got people out here who they're not too bright in the society, man. America, so-called best country in the world, so-called smartest country in the world. But hey, Americans are not too bright. You even got people from other nations, whether it be so-called Japan or so-called China or India, right? Which we know who they are according to the scriptures. They speak on it, They speak on how wicked and how disgusting America is. Because they know. You know why? Because they got an Eastern mindset, man. When you read the scriptures, it has an Eastern mindset. That's why people can't understand where it says, hey, if you don't do this thing, then I'm going to put you to death. They say, oh, that's murder. You can't do that. That's murder. But when people in the scripture, individuals actually hold their vows and keep their vows, all right? Even other nations had things like that, like the Persians. I believe it's written in the Apocrypha. The Persians, they had something where they didn't go back on their word, along those lines. Once a decree went out, they would go out and do it, man. All right. We already know the deal with us, man. For us, the vow is extremely important. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 21. And thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord that power, thou shalt not be slack, thou shalt not slack to pay it. For all that power will surely require it of thee, and it shall be sent, and it will be sent in thee. Exactly. All right. So when you make a vow unto the Lord, man, you're supposed to keep it. All right. You see, vows are very important, man. Vows in the ancient world are very important. Now today, people break their vows all the fucking time, man. When people betray each other, people backbite, so on and so forth, man. Let's actually go ahead and get that, because we can actually prove, man, according to prophecies, that hey, we're in the time of the end, man. All right, this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This also know that in the last days, perilous times shall come, dangerous times. What's the dangerous time that's coming up, man? Jacob's trouble, which is martial law, right? And that time is coming very quickly, man. That time is coming very quickly. I got rather, a few different articles. If I got time to go into them, I will go into them. But you got things on famines, which I think I talked about that last week. I don't think I got that in this week's lineup. But you got famines. You got all these different kind of economic, food shortages, inflation, hyperinflation, shrinkflation. You got these things coming to pass, man. You got oil. Oil is way the hell high, man. And that ain't changed. You got people spending so much fucking money, man. I think it was Visa, MasterCard. They made it where you gotta like pay. They made it and changed the payment limit so people could pay more, so they don't have to do repeat visits, man. Let's go ahead and keep talking, man. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, and things unholy. And these are these people in the society, man. Let's go ahead and start from the top. Lovers of their own selves. It's not America, the most prideful place on earth, man. You got all these prideful people. And you got people that spend hours looking in the mirror here, man. Covetous and boasters. You got people that covet their neighbor's possessions, their neighbor's wives. You got adultery. Adultery is rampant in this society. Thieves, so on and so forth. That's against the scriptures, man. And that shows that America's against the scriptures, man. Moses proud, so it's the same thing. Blasphemers. There's not a lot of blasphemy going on in society. You know, people saying that, you know, the Most High is this. You could call the name Yo Play Yogurt. You know, which that's actually kind of funny. You know, I think IUIC said it. I don't really dig too much to the other camps because, you know, I'm a new brother, man. I don't really got time like that to look into the other camps like that. But, you know, eventually I'll get to it when I get to it. You know, for the time being, I'm just focused on the breakdowns, man. You know, because that's what's important. Here we go. Disobedience to parents. You know, don't you got that a lot in the society? People that don't listen to their parents, children that are drug dealers, especially among our people, right? Which that goes back to the curses, right? But that's just the way the Lord got them, man. You know, which their lots to die on this side. All right, lovers of themselves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedience to parents, unthankful, unholy. Exactly. Now the word holy means to be separate. And how are these people unholy or unseparate? All right, our people are engaged. Well, there's people on these signs right here, man, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know, a lot of them are engaged in unholy practices, man, and pagan rituals, man, and Hamitic rituals, man. You know, you got down there in Levi, man, so-called Haitians down there, they're big on voodoo. You know, you got Simeon. Simeon is big on Santeria. You know. So our people are big into that, man, which proves that we are living in these times, man, in these last days. All right. So when you look at it, man, you look at Genesis the 49th chapter. Genesis the 49th chapter. Well, for the most part, well, I'll say in the context of the Northern Kingdom, or I guess you could say for all of them, is going to things that are going to take place on the other side of the globe. You know, down here in America, man. Of course, the tribes are all over the place, but it's going into prophecies. Right here, the people on this sign that are going to go and happen here in America. You know, like when you hear about Gad. Let's actually go into it, man. I'm kind of spinning my wheels here. Let's go ahead and go into it. Because I actually went into this recently. Because I want to be able to explain easily the tribes. Which I can explain the tribe of Judah pretty easy. Judah to so-called Negroes, man. According to the scriptures. This is the book of Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called to his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. All right, so Jacob called to his sons, which are, you know, his 12 sons, right, which that really applies to their descendants. Their descendants became the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. So it's really meant for us, man. Myself being a Judah, so-called Negro. All right, let's go ahead and get it. And I actually want to use the King James as tell myself out here. See here, Genesis 49. Let's go ahead and do this. And demons are here today, man. Man, I wish they would just be quiet. This is the book of Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. I think I already broke that down, right? This is the book of Genesis 49, verse 1. Befall, things that you're going to encounter, right? Last, future prophecies. When you go into that word for last, Akarayah, something like that. I'm probably butchering it. I may have mispronounced it slightly. Meaning prophecies that will happen in America, all right? Exactly. Last days, time we are in now. And that goes back to Matthew 24, which we can go into Matthew 24 and be able to easily tell. You know, famines, wars, rumors of wars. You got the shit with Gog and Magog, so on and so forth, man. This is how we know. This is how we know we are in these last days, man. I think I explained the rest. We're going to go here and talk about verse 5. Just to the 49, verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Alright, so Simeon, the way you would say it is a Shemai one, which means affliction hurt, roughly paraphrased. The Simeonites are so-called Dominicans. Alright, the Levites, which goes back to Laya, which means joined unto me, they're so-called Haitians. Alright, so Dominicans and Haitians. Alright, and that island, which was originally, populated by Simeonites, by Northern Kingdom Israelites. Um, that land was taken over by the Spanish and called Hispaniola. And then the Spanish, they brought the Haitians down there. They brought the Southern Kingdom Haitians, from the Southern Kingdom, because Benjamin Levi, they brought the Levites down there, and now you had both Levi and Simeon on the same island, under bondage, which eventually, through the Lord, which really was the Lord's doing, but I got it written right here because I saw this breakdown from, I can't remember the brother's name, I think his name is Kazak. He did the breakdown for this. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, voodoo and Santeria, which are left-hand spiritual power. And the Levites use voodoo and spiritual power on the left-hand side. They push Esau, which, that had the French, which I think the Spanish were in there firstly, but I think the French eventually came into that region too. Which, about Toussaint Louverture, right? That's how you get the French Revolution. Really the Haitian, it's really the Haitian Revolution, not really French Revolution. I actually have a book on this. That's how I'm not too surprised. There we go. Let's go back to what we were looking at. Man, where the hell did I put that? Fucking demons, man. Fucking hate the spot sometimes, man. He's got a lot of assholes around here, man. That's why I am investigating and looking at taking a different spot, because I don't really like this, man. All the cars and shit. People wearing my patience thin. With all the jokes and all the bullshit. But as I said, they come up on that bullshit, and they come with any sort of violence, and they kick my stuff. That's it. That's it. Verse 7. Actually, I'll go back to verse 6. Oh, my soul, come not thou unto the secret, unto the assembly, mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, in their self-will they dig down the wall. Exactly. Secret is into assembly, right, is their witchcraft. Mine honor, be not thou united. Dominicans and Haitians are divided. There's a river that divides DR and the Dominican Republic of Haiti, but in the spirit dislike each other, do not acknowledge each other as brethren. Exactly. Alright? Which really is truth, man. That's where they're gonna be united, man. Of course in the kingdom they're gonna be united. There's not gonna be no I hate you Levites, I hate you Simeonites. In the kingdom everything's gonna be together, man. When the kingdom comes down, it's gonna be peace on earth, man. And for in their anger they slew a man and himself will dig down the wall. When Levi and Simeon get united, they do damage as they did to the Hamites. We got here in Genesis 24, which you got about we're not gonna read all this, but Shechem and how he raped Dinah, roughly paraphrasing how that went down. And Levi and Simeon, they fucked them up for that, man. So when Levi and Simeon get together, man, they do damage. Which once again, man, the truth, we're all together. But it's just gonna get worse, man. For these other nations, all the tribes are gonna get together. We're gonna put in work on these Edomites, man, these other nations. We're gonna destroy them. All right. With spiritual power. I think I'm out of juice. Let's go into some articles. I'm not even gonna try and force the spirit. You can't force the spirit, man. Spirit pneuma, when you go into the New Testament, man, is the spirit's like it moves around, man. You can't pin it down, man. Let's see here, man. Let's see here what we got here. We're not gonna go into that one. We're just gonna go into like one of these things. do this one. I haven't really talked about nuclear missiles in a hot minute. But we're gonna go do it today, you know, as we always do. As we always do. You know, we come out here on the highways and byways and we always talk against you fucking people, man. Fucking hate you people, man. People are a stain on this world, man. Fucking people, man. Wicked ass fucking people, Edomites, other heathen nations. Alright? The wicked ass jakes. Niggas are a fucking stain, man. It's a fucking it's abominable even behold you fucking people, man. Fuck you people, man. I'm not talking about jakes that are really sincere and want to repent. That's a beautiful thing. But you assholes out there, man, you're gonna get what you deserve. You're not making it to the kingdom on this side, man. You're gonna die. Dwadi Habashim al-Shah. Alright? CNN.com. Putin battles the Satan 2 nuclear saber to hide Russian failures in the war. We already know what war is going on, right? Ukraine, construction crane. Putin did his best upon a menacing spin on Russia's testing of a new intercontinental ballistic missile on Wednesday. The Russian president said the successful launch of the Sarmat ICBM, nicknamed the Satan 2 in the West, incapable of delivering multiple nuclear warheads as far as the continental United States, would give thought to those who are trying to threaten Russia. Now it's funny how the West are calling this missile, this ICBM, Satan, right? Which really, you Edomites are Satan, right? You guys are Satan, right? Satan, when you go into these scriptures, they just mean You see? This is gonna be the fate, alright, for white people, man, for so-called white people. Alright? Nuclear fire and slavery. And if your woman look good, we're gonna take you for a concubine. If you're good looking enough, you're gonna be taken, man. Alright? Well, this is the lot of these people, man. Of course, that being World War III, man. World War III is when that nuclear fire is gonna come down. Let's go ahead and get it again real quick. Let's go ahead and get it again, man. This is gonna come down in World War III, and we're gonna go ahead and prove it, man. But of course, there's a timeline to these things. All right, this just ain't gonna happen, you know, tomorrow. This is something that's gonna happen after Jacob's trouble. All right, when you see and it says, but the rest shall be. But you shall be saved out of it. There's even a time of Jacob's trouble, so on and so forth, where you should be saved out of it. The one that's going to be saved out of this are going to be the elect, man. All right? We're going to go ahead and explain it. We're going to prove that this is going to happen, man. And that there's a group of men on this earth, man, are Israelites. They're not going to go through this. You join onto the world, this is going to happen to you, man. Point blank period, you're going to burn, man. The nuclear fire. Believe it or the fuck not, you know. I could give two shits, you know, because I'm just out here to you know, bring out the word and that's it. Let's actually go ahead and, you know, since I said what I said, you know, we're gonna go ahead and get some precepts on it, because we can prove this pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Let's go ahead and get it. All right. All right, cut. This is book of Revelation, the 20, verse 14. Death and hell will cast to the lake of fire. This is the second death. All right. So that lake of fire, man, what John the Revelator was seeing, man, it looked like a lake. Now we know a lake is a gigantic, large body of water. All right, so basically what John the Revelator saw was something that looked like a large body of water, except you replaced the water and you had fire. All right, that's what we showed you. That's a little snippet right there of how it's going to look like, man. It's just going to be a big-ass lake of fire, man. All right? So on and so forth. Whosoever was not found in the book of life was cast to the lake of fire. So you see death and hell, it doesn't mean like literal hell, as you got these Christians come out here, these false Christians, as they like to say. They say, oh, that's talking about an alternate dimension, under the ground, hell, where you're gonna burn forever. You know, all that shit is bullshit, man. This is made to, control people, more fear mongering, so on and so forth, man. Which I believe Jake was really the people first to get into that. The Jake and the Holy Roman Empire was engaging in, like pagan infused Christianity, man. Just corrupted, man. That's why our Lord brought those Edomites to take their asses down, man. Which that shows also that kingdom wasn't to last. It wasn't going to last, man. It wasn't made to last. The way to sin is death. Alright? That's why they were able to get fucked up, man. The Lord brought those Edomites to take them down to fulfill prophecy. But this king that's going to come up, man, there's going to be no sin. The law is going to be on the inward parts. Therefore, no sin, no death. No death means you can't take us down. You can't take us down. That's an eternal kingdom. Alright? And hey, if you're a nigga, you don't believe it, hey, no problem, brother. Hey, brother, you can go. Have a great day, my brother. And just keep going on, bro. Keep pushing on, man. With that shit. We'll see where that gets you, man. We'll see where that gets you. Your ass is gonna be in there, man. But I was just talking about these people, death and hell. People are gonna be put in that lake of fire, man. And that lake of fire is the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. As you see Russia doing a test launch and flaunting out right here, which that is biblical prophecy, believe it or not. Let's go ahead and get it. But yeah, that's the second death. This is another one I'm thinking of. Oh, I know another one. It's said over and over and over again. Revelation 21, verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall depart in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Alright, exactly. But the fearful and unbelieving. Alright, who are the fearful and unbelieving? People that are, I don't want to come out here. I'm scared of the affliction. I don't want to go through it. Man, you ain't making it with that kind of mindset, man. And if you're sincere, we'll work with you, man. Hey, man, just keep pushing, bro. You may be, a little nervous at first. Sometimes I get nervous. People, they laugh and shit. But we're not fearful, not to be fearful to the point where you're scared of these fucking people. I'll tell you about these fucking people. These people have so much fucking mental issues, man. It's not even funny. These people are so fucked mentally. It's not even funny, man. I mean, they got mental illness. They got bipolar disorder. They got diseases. These people here are fucked, man. There's no reason to be scared of them. Which is nothing wrong with having diseases, but you know what I mean. There's no reason to be scared of these people. These people are sick. Alright? These people are sick. That's why the brother out there in New York camp, the other brother, Amani Alaba, he always goes into, man, euthanasia. That's what's going to come down upon this place, euthanasia. This country, these Americans are going to get euthanized by nuclear missiles, believe it or not. Alright, euthanasia is, I believe it goes to like good death, or when you go into euthanasia, the conventional meaning, right, is that you got a sick dog, you put it to death. Alright? This country here, these people are sick, and they got to be taken out of their misery. That's why this place is called the City of Confusion. This place is wicked. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll get another one. Going to the 18th. Alright? Abominable, murderers, whoremongers, and sorcerers, right? Abominable. What's abominable according to the scriptures, man? Being a bandito, man. That's abominable. Women wearing fucking pants. That shit's abominable. That shit's wicked, man. That shit's evil, man. And it fucks them up, Adultery, Just gonna keep talking on, man. Idolatry. Idolatry is big in this society, man. People praying to a fucking rock, man. You know? Fucking, you got Jake's. Well, I wasn't even thinking of that. Jake's, with the Kaaba stone. Jake's that Muslim bullshit into Islam. But you also got Jake's that in fact, Catholicism shit. I believe with the Haitians, their Catholicism is just a dolled up version of voodoo. It's the same shit. As I said, Haitians are big into voodoo. That's also idolatry, man. You got a lot of Jakes that are into Hinduism. You got a lot of Jakes that are into Buddhism. You got Jakes that are engaged in involved in all kinds of nonsense. Alright? The sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have the part in a lake that which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Alright, now that proves right here, the lake of fire and brimstone is what you see right here. The lake of fire and brimstone is this right here. And you see Russia, they're pushing this stuff out, man. Eventually they're gonna launch those missiles, man. Which that's gonna come after Jacob's trouble, man. That's gonna be the ultimate destruction. Alright? Once again, this is gonna happen after Jacob's trouble. Alright? Which is synonymous with the deliverance of the elect, man. So while this is going down, the elect are gonna be saved, man. That's all it's all gonna play out, man. Lord willing, I'm on that number. But if I get executed, so be it, man. Lord willing, have the spirit to endure. But see right here, man. That's what's coming down, man. And you see prophecy, coming to pass before your eyes, man. Which we may get into that. Ezekiel 38, we may just get the point. Revelation 18 will start at the top. After these things, I saw another angel coming down from heaven with great power. The earth was lightning with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean, hateful bird. And this is after America, which is Babylon, is destroyed. And you can prove that with, there's a lot. Isaiah 47, Jeremiah, and Jeremiah 50 goes into it. It's synonymous, man. Only scabbers will inhabit the land, devils and spirits. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich with abundance of delicacies. Alright, so the wine of the wrath of her fornication is philosophies, man. And all nations have intermingled themselves with America. They've done deals with America. They've become, partakers of this society's ways, man. That's why you see all these different nations. They got democracy. They be having, all these kinds of bullshit. They be having their world, what do they call it, the central bank, right? The central bank, which that just creates inflation. That ruins your fucking country. You got these countries that are in league with America. You see, you see the child trafficking. You see the moral decay of a society when they engage and deal with the United States, man. They become more and more wicked, man, because they cleave onto the United States, man. They cleave onto their ways, They get the Christianity and all the bullshit, so on and so forth, man. You get the democracy, as I said, which that democracy in itself creates division. When you look at it in Revelation, the 13th chapter, that's talking about, it's multifold. Let's go into like America, going to America. And that's going into, which really proves how America is Roman and reincarnation, right? And that's going into how you got the Democrats and Republicans. You see, the democratic system in itself is division. And that's why, scriptures do say, Satan be against Satan, man, and how then shall his kingdom stand? All right, in this kingdom right now, America isn't going to stand because you have Satan against Satan. It's only going to get worse over time. As the food gets less and less, as the food becomes more pricey, people are just gonna get at each other more, man. And it goes back to Matthew 24, man. The love of many shall wax cold, roughly paraphrasing. All right. So meaning that these people, when you're warm-hearted, you're very kind. People in this society are gonna get more and more cold-hearted. Now, what's the opposite of being cold? The opposite of being warm, my bad. The opposite of being warm is being cold. Now, we know warm-heartedness means to be kind and, so on and so forth. Cold-heartedness means to be mean, angry. That's why you're seeing more and more acts of violence in the news lately. It's only going to get worse and amplify as we move towards Jacob's trouble. All right? Verse 4. And another voice saying, "Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, receive not of her plagues." Exactly, and that's going into the deliverance. Verse 5. For her sins have reached deliverance in the chariots, by the way. For her sins have reached to heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. All right? So metaphorically, all the wickedness they have committed, they've also literally reached into space. That's why you have something called space debris. All right? Esau, he's reaching the space. He hasn't made it to the moon. That whole thing was a hoax. And the Lord ain't gonna let Esau go that high up on his limits. All right? But Esau has made it into space. He has satellites. And when you have your phones and your television systems, those all go back to satellites. You got satellite TV, for example, right? I think this whole thing with Ukraine, right? They actually paid for satellites by Elon Musk. I think that whole thing went down. They actually got satellites from Elon Musk, man. So that proves it right there, man. Verse 6, reward her even as she reward you, double unto her according to her works, and the cup which shall fill for it to be double. So that the double is not literal. What Esau has done to the children of Israel will be done to him many fold. Exactly. We're going to put him in slavery. Let's go back to this article. Actually, no, let's not go back to the article. Let's get another one. Then we're going to go back to the article. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 6. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 12. And I beheld, when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And those stars of heaven are referring to those ICBMs, man. Which you see right here, man, this whole thing right here, Sarmat is an ICBM. And the ICBM stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. Right? An intercontinental ballistic missile is just a missile that can hit different continents. And this is what's going to come down to the shores of America. And they actually boasted right here, Russia, that hey, this missile can hit America. And then this is going to come to pass, man. This kind of speaks for itself for the most part. We're going to read a little bit more later on. Verse 14, and heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. When it is rolled together, every mountain and island will move out of their places. All right, so the heaven departed, as Esau's heaven, which is his rulership. All right, mountain and island figuratively referring to governments of the world, but also literally as America will be completely destroyed. Exactly. That's what's going to come down to the United States. That's why you see Russia testing this ICBM. All right, but now you see these things go on the news. It doesn't mean that there's going to be, World War III come down right now. You just see these things escalate, and they're going to continue to escalate. But there's not going to be full-blown, full-scale war, full-scale escalation to nuclear war until Jacob's trumpet comes. You see? I'm thinking of this one. This book of Isaiah 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that which I please, and shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Exactly. So the Most High, when He speaks, man, you know, and he speaks by the mouth of the prophets, right? These words, they're gonna happen, man. When you get into the prophecies, you know, these things are gonna come to pass, you know. Exactly. It shall accomplish what I please. This is the New King James Version. It shall accomplish what I please and shall prosper the thing which I sent it. Exactly. So whatever the Most High says is going to go down, as the Most High set it up, it's going to go down that way. It's going to go down that way. Now we just read Jeremiah 30:7, which I don't think we really read it, but you should know what that is, right? It should be a time time of great trouble, even the time of Jacob's trouble. We should be saved out of it. That's going to happen, man. All right, he is just going to be the elect. They're going to be saved out of it. They're going to be all right. And the Lord willing by that number, I'm going to be all right during those days, man. You know, whatever case, whatever situation I'm in, I'm going to be all right. You know, you brothers too, Lord willing, you're all going to be all right. All right. Now you see here, how can the nuclear missiles come down first without that coming to pass? So you mean to tell me everything's going to be destroyed and then there's going to be martial law? That doesn't make any sense. No, there's going to be martial law first and then everything's going to be destroyed. Because if everything's destroyed, then there's no infrastructure. If there's no infrastructure, how you can have martial law? Doesn't make sense. All right? They need to have martial law while everything is still intact. Right now, everything is still intact. All the military equipment, arms, so on and so forth are still intact. They're still functioning. That's why they need to push out martial law. Martial law is going to come first, and then, you know, through the Most High, man, through Yahushua, through the angels, is all that going to be destroyed through the nuclear missiles, man. They're going to come down upon this place. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. Yep. Oh yeah, shit. I don't think I have Revelation 12 in here anymore. Yeah, I missed a page. One of the pages fell out of my Bible. We're gonna have to get it out of here. Revelation chapter 12. See verse 7. There was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels and his angels. All right, so Michael and his angels, right, which is really Yahushua is gonna be at the head, leading everything. All right, but it's gonna be Yahushua and all the angels, man. They're gonna come down. And they're going to fight against the dragon. Now, the dragon is the Roman Empire, man. You divide the Roman Empire, man. Which is America, NATO, and EU. Alright? When you read up ahead earlier, verse 3, and there appeared another one in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads. Having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. Alright? And that's just talking about the Roman Empire. Alright? It's talking about the Roman Empire back then, the ancient Roman Empire. With the 7 heads and the 10 horns basically being their version of the NATO and EU back then, their military alliance, their group of military conglomerations, military political conglomerations they had back then, you know. But today, those 7 heads and 10 horns have been reincarnated as NATO and the EU, right? And what the NATO and the EU, the purpose is really a bunch of Edomite nations, or so-called white nations, which they stole those lands, right? That's really a conglomeration, a unity of those nations, Edomites, to come down and take down dark-skinned races, man. Or dark-skinned races, dark-skinned nations. All right, that's really the purpose of NATO and the EU. That's why you see them going to different regions, going down to Syria, going down to different regions and putting in their troops, you know, and destabilizing the region and bringing war, chaos, and death. You know, which that's really what they are, man. Esau had the blessing of the sword, which you can also read about here in Revelation, the 6th chapter, and the 3rd verse. And when he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd beast say, "Come and see." And then when another horse that was red, and power was given unto him, They tell them that set they're on to take peace from the earth, and they should kill one another, and it should be given. It was given unto him a great sword. Let's talk about Esau, not great swords. Esau's tech, man. You know, Esau was given that military, man. You know, that this technology, his tanks, his guns, his missiles, so on and so forth. You know, and he's taking peace away from the earth, man. And that's why you hear about these wars. It seems like there's a war, like every year, man. You know, there's always something going down here, man. You know why? Because America has something called a war economy. Right? You have America that's involved with paramilitary forces that are well, I guess the better term would be mercenaries. America that are involved with mercenaries. You know, America is clearly involved with them. You know, the America with mercs, they fund rebel forces. They fund they just into it, man. You see this whole thing going down with Crane U. That's how I'll say it from now on. Crane U. What you got going down there is America sending them missiles and guns and weapons. But I thought America was all peaceful. You know, this sounds like a bunch of bullshit. But you know what? That goes to show you, man, how so-called white man is a liar, man. So-called white man is a devil. Alright? So-called white man is a deceiver. Which that's what devil means. Or false accuser. False accuser, deceiver. They lie. That's in their nature. You know? That goes into how Esau, he was originally the serpent, man. You know? And he came back as Cain, man. You know? That same spirit came back in Cain, man. That's why he lied, man. You know? Let's actually go ahead and get that. We go into different places, man. We going places today, man. But I got the breakdown already prepared, so I'm not tripping. This is the book of Genesis chapter 4, verse 9, man. And the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel thy brother?" And he said, "I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?" Cain murdered Abel and then lied about it, proving he had the spirit of Esau, man. And that's what these Edomites do, man. These Edomites will clearly do wickedness, right? These Edomites will clearly do wickedness. This whole thing, I did a video on it, right? The Lucky Charms. Thousands of fucking people inside the United States. I thought America was a great country. Thousands of people in the United States get sick after eating Lucky Charms, right? The jury's still out on what's in the Lucky Charms that made the fucking people sick. But the fucking company, General Mills, still said, "Oh, we don't know why that's happened." They know why it's happened because the Lucky Charms are poison, man. Which that goes back to the scriptures, man. The defiled bread. We eat the defiled bread. You know, who knows what goes on in those factories? You got rats and rodents. I believe it was a Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree that closed down. You know, had to close down a bunch of spots because of how dirty it was. You know? I should have thought about this earlier. Yeah, that wasn't too bright of me. I forgot I could do that. But right, you see these things happen, man. So that proves that he had the spirit of Esau, man. Cain had the spirit of Esau in him, man. You know, and he died and he came back as Esau, man. You know, so on and so forth. You know, you got these Edomites. You know, we got these Edomites in subjection during the time of King David and King Solomon. You know, and eventually we put them in subjection again. You know, the Holy Roman Empire, and I showed you those images. You know, we were all over the place, man. You had Israelites in Scotland, Israelites in Ireland, Israelites in Russia, all right, all over the place, man. You know, Holy Roman Empire, all right, which I'm pretty sure they've actually were in Russia too. I think there's things out there like that. You know, but you had the Holy Roman Empire, man. They were out there. You know, it's possible. I'll take that back. Maybe not Russia, but I think I saw something that you had that. You know, but I'll look back into that one. So I'm not taking responsibility for that because I corrected myself. But I believe they were out there. You know, you had Edomites that were out there too. But we know that the original inhabitants of that land were Japhetic people. But now you got Edomites in that land. I just gotta look into if the Holy Roman Empire extended that far out. Because you did have the Holy Roman Empire. They were in Germany. They were all over the place, man. They were in Spain. You know, so on and so forth. Rome. You know, etc., etc. You know, we had that vision. We had that power. You know, but then we lost it. You know, because the Renaissance had to come to pass, right? And you know, so on and so forth. Biblical prophecy had to come down and take forth, and take power, right? And with the Renaissance coming out, is where you get this false image right here, man. All right, this is not the true depiction of what the world ignorantly calls Christ. All right, that is a false image. That is Cesare Borgia. That's some bullshit. All right, the real image of Christ is a dark-skinned man. All right, so on and so forth. Which, you know, names Yahweh. See people around like the Yahweh Shai, man. You know, I don't want to cast my pearls before fucking swine. These fucking filthy animals, man. That's what all these people the fuck are, man. These people are animals. That's why it says, cast not your pearls before swine, man. You're not supposed to tell anyone about this truth, man. And even the Lord, man. The Lord liking these people into fucking animals, man. That's what they are, because they're in a beastly fucking mind state. So we just do whatever the fuck feels good, man. You know, these people aren't spiritual, not spiritually minded. They're fucking carnal, man. I fucking hate this society, man. But you know what? We're gonna keep pushing, man. We're gonna keep pushing. So, but that's pretty much coming down, right? The missile's gonna come down and destroy this country. We're actually gonna keep reading down. Revelation 6 verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, the rich men, the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, every free man, hid themselves in dens in the rocks of the mountains. And this is going into the nuclear bunkers, man. All right, so Esau, he's gonna see these things come to pass, man. Once you see those missiles, you know, and they're coming down on him, and he's gonna hide in nuclear bunkers, man. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go into the bunkers, and we're gonna pull Esau out the bunkers, and we're gonna put Esau in slavery. Whoever the fuck else is in there, they're going into slavery. All right, that's what's coming to the so-called white man. Let's go get the poster again. Let's get the poster for the brothers at home, man. Let's get the poster for the brothers at home, man. Check it. Check that out. All right. Get ready for your future, white folks. But you're really Edomites. All right. We write it like that so that you can understand, because you're not spiritually minded. You're a fucking animal, is what you are. Let's go ahead and get that right there, man. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's prove that you people are fucking animals, man. Alright? You Edomites are animals. Alright, it's the book of Psalm 22 and 16. For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Now, King David never had his hands and feet pierced. You see, King David was a prophet. And what King David is prophesying about is the crucifixion of who the world ignorantly calls Christ, which according to the scriptures, he's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negro. All right? Dogs are synonymous with white people, with Edomites, according to the scriptures. Because Yahweh Shai was compassed by those Edomite Roman soldiers. So you put two and two together, the scriptures call Esau Edom a dog. And this is going to be the fate of this fucking dog, man. Job 9 and 24, these dogs currently have the rulership over this society. But it's going to come to pass real soon that nuclear missiles are going to come down upon this place, and that rulership structure is going to soon be destroyed. Alright? You can believe it or not. You can believe it or you cannot believe it. But it's going to happen, because the scriptures don't come back void, man. These things happen, man. They come to pass, you know? Even with the history of the split, which I might do. I want to do a video on. It's going to take a little bit, a lot of reading. But I mean, a lot of it speaks for itself. But I'm going to go look into it again and get a precept or two to go into, maybe 3 or 4, see how it goes. But basically, man, you look at 1 Kings 11th chapter, man, when it goes to the split happens in the rest of the chapter and in the 12th chapter. That's the scripture's not coming back void, man. It's not the word of the Lord coming back void. That's the word of the Lord happening and happening quick. All right? It happened, man. The Lord, through a prophet said that this is going to happen. And then it happened, man. So how much more today? You see the society breaking down. It's happening, man. When will you Jakes get it, man? When will you Jakes finally get it? Turn away from these heathen ways, man. Turn away from the shrimp. Turn away from the lobster. Turn away from serving these fucking people, man, from following their ways. But serving them what you gotta go to work, right? There's nothing we can do about that. Alright? But don't be serving these people's ways and philosophies. Why? Because it's gonna lead to your destruction. Make you a child of disobedience. Disobedience is compliance with an order. Disobedience is non-compliance with the order. What's the order? Be brotherly, man. Fear the Lord your power. So on and so forth. Keep the commandments to the best of your ability. Which fearing the Lord and being brotherly is a part of that. You have to do it. There's no, I kind of sort of feel like being a nigga today. Nah, man. Nah, bro. It don't work like that, man. This is not a democracy, man. We're not going to have a vote, a 2/3 vote in the Congress for, okay, let's see how we're going to, are we going to make it mandatory for brothers to be brotherly with each other, to be kind towards each other? No, man. No. There's no debating on being brotherly. There's no debating on us coming out here and speak against these Edomites. It's good to say, sit that face against Mount Seir. Sit your face against these Edomites, man. That's what we have to do. There's no ifs, ands, fucking buts about that. Alright? I'm coming out here week in and week out, of course, with some, shit happens. If it's raining super hard, and I just say, alright, it's not really worth going all the way out there. If it's raining really bad, it's not really worth it. If I go out here and it's overly cold, because I'll freeze my tech, right? So on and so forth. So